Okay, this is I decided to give you a little bit more detail of how I was doing this with the LEDs. So here's it's like a little bubble. I cut it off with the Dremel tool. You can see it's just a little cut-off wheel. Okay, and I cut it. I don't know if I can see it very well here. Alright, this is what it, as you can see, I'm trying to get it on an angle here where there's not much glare, so you can actually see what I cut. Yeah, that ain't too bad there. You can see I cut pretty close to where the circuit board is. That's pretty good right there. Alright, without cutting the circuit board, I went all the way around, cut that bubble off. Now I got to notch out right here on both sides where the wire is, right there and right there. There's still a little bit of plastic above the wire, so I'll grind that out on either side so the wire can lift out, and then that circuit board will come out. Okay, you can see right here, you can see where I notched it a little bit so I could pull the wires out. And then on the other side, that's where the wire was. So you have to grind just the plastic, but you can't touch the wires. You don't want to screw them up. So just really got to be really careful. But when you end up taking it off, this is what you end up with. That's what the LED is sitting inside of. Okay. So I got that. So I just got one more to do. And what's cool is, I want to show you something. This is going to be even easier than the speedometer, because this is the speedometer right here, and that's that plug I showed you. I could put it in, but this is one of the other gauges, and this is the bulbs that they got. But if I take, let me see, I'll get the end one here. I won't even have to modify anything. I can take this bulb out of the socket, leave the socket not even pushed into the gauge, take the LED, put it there flat, and just put a piece of duct tape over it to hold it, and that's it, done. I don't even have to modify the circuit board to fit inside here, because this is a flat surface and this is flat. I just put it over that piece of duct tape, done. So for this gauge down here, and this one over here, that's what all I'm going to do. I might modify this one. I mean, this one, the hole is a little bit too big. So for this one here, I may have to cut the circuit board to fit inside the bulb socket, and then just screw the bulb socket in, because the bulb socket goes way down inside here. Okay, so I need the bulb to go way in. These gauges here, the bulb only has to go in a little bit to light up the gauge. So my only major modification is to change the circuit board for the speedometer. The other ones, I'm just going to leave it flat, put a little piece of duct tape to hold it, and that's it. And I'm going to even leave the sockets wired. I'll just pull the bulbs out. For any reason, I don't know why, but if for any reason I want to change back, all I have to do is put the bulb in, stick it in, and done. Okay? So that's what I'm going to do. Cool. Okay, it's going to be kind of hard to see this, but can you see the round circle around? I traced. It's kind of hard to. You can see where I scribed where the outside edge of the socket is. Okay. Oop. I dropped it. Ugh. Okay. And what I did was I put this over it, and then I just scribed around it to get the some kind of size. Now what that's going to give me is the outside diameter. So I have to go a little bit smaller, the thickness of this right here, to get the inside diameter, so the circuit board will fit inside there. So I gotta check. And it looks like if I do a little offset, favor this side here, this, I can get this, that it looks like a little chip or something in there. I can get that. Maybe not a chip, I don't know, it might be another, just some kind of piece of electronics that goes along with this. I can get that inside the tube socket, whereas down here at the bottom there's absolutely nothing, it's just circuit board. So I can take more of the circuit board off of the bottom than the top to get it on the inside. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put on a sanding disc. It's actually like a drum. Let me open this up and I'll show you. I'm going to use one of these to start grinding away. Here's the actual one on top of the tool. And start grinding away the circuit board until it's round and it fits inside the socket. Alright, be right back. Okay, I ground it out and it's inside there. Now, I'm going to try to see if I can leave it wired like this and get it in the socket. If not, I'm going to have to cut these wires, drill a hole in the back. There's already a little hole there, but it's not all the way through, I don't believe. So, and then I'll run the wires through and then resolder them up. But there's the circuit board fitting inside the light bulb socket. Cool, huh? Not exactly centered, but that's okay, because I had to leave a little room down here for whatever that little electronic piece was. I took more off the other side to get it to go in. Alright, cool. Be right back. I decided to go with the drill out the back. There's the wire coming out the back. There's the LED sitting in there. I put a little gutter seal, which is nothing more than a silicone. And that's it. That's in there. That's it. So all I got to do now is I'll shorten up the wire a little bit because it's way too long to go from one gauge to the other, and tie it in, and it should work. Famous last words, should work. I said that once about wiring a guitar, electric guitar pickup. They said if you pot, it's called potting, and what happens is sometimes you get a lot of feedback, and it's because the wiring in the pickups are coils of fine wire. They haven't been potted, which means they have to be dipped in wax to keep them from resonating. So I figured, well, hell, I know how to keep them from resonating. I put some of that super glue on them. Well, little did I know that super glue is really an acid, and it ate up the fine hairs of wires in the pickup. So I had to throw that out. But hopefully there's no chemical reaction between the chip or whatever's under this diode. Hey Rich, this is a diode. That's why they call them LEDs, light emitting diode. Electricity only passes one way through it, and when it does, it gives off different colors, I guess. I don't know how they change the color, but you can see there's a little bit of silicone right there on the edge. It's a silver colored stuff, but it's just kind of holding it in place. Alright, so I'm going to shorten this wire up, solder it to the rest of them, hook the battery up in the car and fire it up and see if it works. Cool. Well, good news and bad news. Good news is the LEDs worked. The bad news is because it's a different style, the type of lighting they are. You can see they're green, but they're faint. and the GS series is very, very bright. So if anything, rather than replace all the other gauges, I may just end up replacing the water gauge with a regular one and put one of those LEDs in that, so they'll all be the same. But for now, this is the way it'll be. You can see this is so much brighter. That's what I was hoping for. But evidently in these other gauges, the light where they have the numbers, the light doesn't pass through the writing in there like it does in this one. The lighting is just at the top a little bit, and kind of shines around it. You know, it's still better than the light bulbs. The light bulbs were even fainter than this. I was really disappointed in them. But so it's a success, but it's not fantastic. You know what I mean? But anyways, there's a way for you to, if you want to change the colors, and rather than use the bulbs, this is a much nicer color than I mean, I had those little green sleeves that fit over the bulbs, and it didn't even look green. So if you guys want to change the colors to like red or whatever, you know, whatever LEDs you can find, they got red in all different colors, blue, you know, green. I suggest still doing the LED conversion, and that's what it came out like. All right, cool.